The like, love, and laugh emojis started flying last year when the news broke that Facebook is coming to Los Lunas. All right. The news only got better when it was announced last month Facebook will double its investment in a data center the tech giant is planning on building there, spending about $250 million. This is all thanks to the generous tax breaks and grants provided to companies promoted by Susana Martinez. The facility is expected to create upwards of 1,000 temporary construction jobs and 100 permanent jobs. If that doesn't sound like a lot of jobs, it's because it isn't. We give these corporations millions of dollars in tax breaks, and all they give us is another reason why we're the slowest growing workforce in the Southwest. Meh. A recent U.S. News report and World report shows New Mexico is bleeding out residents from the ages of 30 to 60. So basically, most people who work, purchase property, and pay taxes are fleeing the state. I think it's fair to say at this point the concept of trickle-down economy is the scariest myth we perpetuate in this state, beating out Chupacabra and La Llorona. Hey Facebook, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's trickle-down. Recently, UNM came under fire from Laura Jimenez, a Boston University professor, over their complete lack of diversity on a brochure they handed out for the college. Called out on Twitter, UNM did what any proud white institution does under fire. They poured gasoline all over it. Their response? Every year we invite a great number of colored people to participate in our conference. Those who accept are given every opportunity to present. Huh. You know, they still had enough characters left to write sad exclamation point at the end of that tweet. While the tweet was subsequently removed, apologized for, and basically every act of contrition short of reparations has been made, the damage has been done, and all that's left to do now is learn the lesson from this 140-character trash fire. And that's this. Never give your Twitter account password to anyone over the age of 40. Racists, white nationalists, Nazis, the Confederacy. What used to be answers on a history exam are now current news all over around the country. But where do we stand in New Mexico? Governor and resident expert on standing up against the disadvantaged, Susana Martinez, used strong words, calling the recent events in Charlottesville a cowardly attack. And Doña Ana GOP chairman Roman Jimenez used even bolder words, saying, and I quote, "These violent leftist protesters are brainless robots that are created by evil Soros money. The white ones have been taught to hate their color. The women are taught to hate their men. Blacks and minorities want to kill whites and police. Then they have the audacity to call conservatives racist. Their own racism, hate, and violence has created the divide among those that refuse to be bullied anymore. They're getting exactly what they asked for, a segregated society of groups they've created and even labeled themselves." Ugh. Realizing that may not have been the most tactful, truthful, or even sane comments to make, our fine Chairman Jimenez vacated said chair. Good on you, man. But geez, where do you go after saying something like that? Into the night? But what will light his way? Might we suggest tiki torches? But where do we go from here as New Mexicans? With cities removing their last remnants of Confederate glorification in statues, we turn to the public to find out if our own Confederate howitzer cannons on display in Old Town should be destroyed in the name of progressive ideals. We go to Ann Gora for the story.
From Baltimore to L.A., Confederate statues have been toppling like Jenga pieces, which leads me to wonder, how are these howitzers still standing behind me? My name's Ann Gora, and we're going around Old Town Albuquerque to find out what you think. Have you seen the howitzers before?
Yes, a few times, actually, just passing through Old Town myself, but...
So would you call the howitzers a hot pair?
A hot pair? They're pretty historic.
So, I mean, if something happened and they were to take down these statues, what would you think would be a proper replacement for the statues?
I don't know if they need to replace them with anything, but...
Well, if we melted them down, what would you make out of them?
I'd make a lot of statues of baby animals.
Maybe we could use them for another statue that's actually nice. Yeah.
Let's do a statue of Barack Obama. No, even better, Bernie Sanders.
Dude on a horse that's not on the Confederate side.
What would you think, like, if they put up a statue of Susanna Martinez eating pizza.
We won't get into Susanna Martinez, so you'd have to censor what I have to say.
What do you think if we repurpose them possibly for use to enact the death penalty for murders and extreme child molesters and such?
As in, like, shooting the cannon to, using them as a means to put these people down?
Yes.
It's a little barbaric, but I'm cool with it.
Would you be interested in using these cannons as giant pieces on a big Monopoly board?
Yeah.
I think when you look at history, you have to kind of study the good and bad about it.
The Holocaust didn't happen. It's like, yes, it did.
Christopher Columbus cut people's arms off and all their legs.
And obviously, there are some ties that there's some concerns about. But looking at it, these howitzers here, they kind of take you back in time, to look at, what happened during the times past. But I think, the howitzers themselves, they have a lot of ties to that. So I hope that answers your question.
Well, it looks like for now, these bad boys are staying. We'll check back in when we do not see them anymore. Back to you, Danger.
Great report, Anne. We'll see what happens with him.